Okay, this is the battle I've been trying to avoid, folks. We're into the middle of it. Well, we've started it rather. I'm just putting my troops into some kind of a formation. An elongated line is no good because there's no way he's going to attack across an entire front. So we can reduce the frontage. I tend to bring in infantry units from the flanks and form column behind the what then becomes the flanking unit. And that's so that I can wrap around the enemy, or so that I can move them into the centre to reinforce the line, or move them around. Basically, they're reserves. But I tend to find that I need them more on the flanks than I do in the centre. Not always the case. Cavalry, both lots of cavalry. I should be using those to chase the enemy down. That's the intention. We'll see where we go with that one. Right. This is all the usual sort of forming up under the battle deployment. I do speed things up a couple of times. The game doesn't normally go whoops, whoopity whoopity so quick as that. You might find there's some screechy voices, you know, because I've speeded it up as well. But obviously you wouldn't normally get that during the battle if you're watching it yourself. But I just thought, while we're getting into formation, or rather getting into position, it would be better if if we did that quickly. What I've done is, after I've put everybody in the formation that I wanted to do, I've grouped them. And now moving them all together as one group to get them into the basic position. You notice he's got some artillery there that's firing at me. But although it looks on here that I'm going quickly, that will mean that his guns are firing quickly as well. So I will be taking casualties as I go, as I get closer and closer. He left his gun right out there in the front. It's up to me. Do I form troops around it and shoot away? Now, they're not very good, to be honest, at shooting at artillery volley firing troops, so I really need cavalry to do it. You can see the supports that he's got for his guns around there. And here I go, sending out my cavalry that I was given right at the beginning of the game. It's my cheapest cavalry. It's also the quickest. I'm pretty sure it's the quickest. Just the provincial cavalry to run out and take his guns. Now, if you remember, he has got some horse. They're superior to mine as well. I couldn't see them close enough to his gun to be able to help him. Right, we're taking out the artillery. I tend to want to completely destroy something if I can. Unfortunately, you have to be there for quite a while in order to do that. Somebody's approaching, looks like his horse, so I now try and extricate myself as quickly as possible. My provincial cavalry don't seem very well disciplined, so it's going to be I think we're going to struggle to get out of there in time. So it looks like his horse has managed to catch us. I'd been better off really just hitting his guns, routing him, and then running back. I've mistimed it, so there's an example for all of us. You wonder why I'm looking around here. You remember he's got some light troops, so I'm looking through all the woods to see if there's anything there on the flanks that can come in and attack me. It has been known that people will suddenly appear from the woods. There's some of my horse. They must have got hit by the artillery. More than likely the general's horse. Luckily my general wasn't killed, because they usually target the general. Anyway, it doesn't look like there's anybody around, but again, if they're hidden, it would be hard to tell. You can usually tell by casualties, people that are shot at as you're marching past. Well, I'm pretty sure those horse are from artillery. Here I go, desperately trying to run away. It looks like my chaps are routing from that as well, so they have been hit pretty hard by superior cavalry after already fighting a melee with the artillery. They say national characteristics show themselves in all kinds of ways. Well, there you go. I love my sea battles. I can capture ships and trade them for money and all sorts of things. But cavalry, I must admit, I do tend to be a bit gung-ho with them. What did Napoleon say? Best cavalry in the world, worst led. Well, there you go. Throwing mine away after fixed artillery. I'm sending out my other horse, as you can see, my light cavalry there, to take him on. Do you remember I did say I wanted a second load of cavalry as well, so that so that I could take on his. fortunately, the artificial intelligence trick has worked. His artillery has dragged in my cavalry to fight against fairly useless artillery anyway, stuff that he probably wants to get rid of, because it's not going to be any use to him later in the game, later in the campaign game I should say. If you remember, I just got rid of all mine. Okay, here I go routing. I'm sending my other cavalry in, my better cavalry, to rescue my routing horse. You can see that another unit has appeared there, but it seems to be going backwards now. I'm not sure if it's coming forwards or backwards now. Seems to be going back and forth just to the left there. Now you can see his horse moving towards his infantry. If I chase him now, he's going to give fire on my horse. I'm looking round now to see how far away my general is, because my general can give encouragement to my routing provincial cavalry. They're going quite close to all my main forces, so you'd expect them to gain some reassurance in the fact there are so many of my own formed troops around. See, I've withdrawn my own horse to get them out of the way, because his horse were drawing my horse into his musketry volley. I want to try and keep my horse if I can till the end. I don't want to be throwing them away in the early stages of the game. Right, he's now overextending his own horse. I can now get my infantry in against that infantry unit. So I'm going to run my general here at this stage, take him in the flank, attack him with my better cavalry and attack him with my general's cavalry as well. I ought now be able to take him off the field. Still, I've got my routing provincial cavalry. It'd be nice to have those back. Oh, looks like they've got their confidence back. Be nice to have those to be able to chase him off the field, but I'm not sure they're going to have the will to do that. Okay, forming up my infantry now into line formation so that I can take on that infantry unit that's come to the front. The idea is to form lines so that you are outnumbering his fire. If those are his light troops, they'll be better shots than me. They'll fire more often and they will have a greater range. I did say the troops that he has, other than some of the firelock infantry, are better than mine anyway. Anyway, approaching the end of the first part of the battle. I'm hoping to get the second half of the battle done, completed in the next video. So it should be about 20 minutes overall for the battle. I hope I've managed to squeeze that in. You should just be able to see now before the video ends the line formation there against that solitary unit that's found itself out front. He does seem to be holding his other troops back there. Right, pull those cavalry back. We're not going to get him. As soon as he crosses that red line, that's the end of it. He's going to come back and fight another day, I'm afraid, so there is going to be a small cavalry unit around. And I'll see you again at the next video.